returning in 10 minutes of BPTV News, brought to you by Bình Phước television station and newspaper, and with you with the latest news for today. Journalists to mark World Environment Day in Binh Phuoc. Binh Phuoc speeds up digital transformation. Prime Minister meets Cuban Interior Minister. Vietnam promotes multilateral cooperation with UNESCO. The Vietnam Journalists Association, which joined hands with competent sites to plagiarize in Binh Phuoc province to mark World Environment Day on June 5th.
The plans were discussed at a working session between the Vietnam Journalists Association and leaders of several sectors and branches in Binh Phuoc province on May 15th. According to a representative from the Vietnam Journalists Association, the move is in response to the tree planting festival in 2023. Within the framework of the event, disadvantaged students with excellent academic results will receive gifts worth some 100 million Vietnam dong from the association. Exchanges will be also held between Binh Phuoc leaders and press agencies to boost communications work and serve local socio-economic development. In attendance will be former Deputy Prime Minister Trung Hoa Bình, leaders from the Vietnam Journalists Association, press agencies, and Binh Phuoc province, as well as representatives from businesses.
A fund to support local policy beneficiaries was launched by the Veteran or Business Association in Binh Phuoc province at the recent gathering of veteran business leaders.
The gathering was attended by Chairman and Vice Chairman of the Vietnam War Veterans Association, heroes of the People's Armed Forces, and leaders of the Provincial Party Committee and People's Committee. The 20 billion Vietnam Dong Fund was established by veterans Nguyễn Thị Hồng Tươi and Phạm Công Trường from the Trường Tươi group. It will be used initially to support local war invalids, families of war martyrs, and people who rendered service to the nation. In addition to solid business achievements, local veterans have also paid due regard to ensuring social welfare and supporting the impoverished. More than 2 billion Vietnam dong was mobilized at the gathering to build 25 houses for the needy.
The Vietnam Union of Science and Technology Association Binh Phuoc chapter has held a training course on digital transformation for local agencies, branches, and businesses as part of activities to mark Vietnam Science and Technology Day on May 18.
According to the Department of Information and Communications, all public services will be provided online, while all local authorities are expected to be able to share data via a common platform. Additionally, more than 80% of the adult population will own a smartphone by 2025. The digital economy is expected to account for 20% of local GDP. Dương Trọng Hải, a digital transformation expert from Ho Chi Minh City, highlighted several issues at the training, such as the importance of digital transformation, the levels of online public services, and the differences in digital transformation in state-owned agencies and businesses. Participants also discussed challenges and measures to promote digital transformation in the time to come.
Prime Minister Phạm Minh Chính on May 16 met Cuban Minister of the Interior Alberto Avery Casas on the working visit to Vietnam.
Prime Minister Chính spoke highly of the significance of the visit that is taking place at a time when Vietnam and Cuba are celebrating the 60th founding anniversary of the Cuban Committee for Solidarity with South Vietnam and the 50th anniversary of the Cuban leader Fidel Castro's first visit to Vietnam and the liberated zone in the south of Vietnam. The Prime Minister expressed a hope that the Ministry of Public Security of Vietnam and the Ministry of Interior of Cuba will continue to promote closer relations to serve national construction and defense. The Cuban minister thanked Vietnam and the Prime Minister for support for Cuba. He affirms that his ministry will continue to closely coordinate with the Ministry of Public Security of Vietnam to effectively implement the contents mentioned by the Prime Minister.
President of the Vietnam Fatherland Front Đỗ Văn Chiến received a delegation from the Cuban Committee for the Defense of the Revolution in Hanoi on May 16.
President Chin and National Coordinator of the Committee for Defense of Revolution of Cuba, Gerardo Hernandez Nordlo, agreed to enhance information exchange and closely coordinate and support each other to ensure peace, stability, security, and social order and safety in each country. They consented to encouraging and creating favorable conditions for local fronts to strengthen cooperation, organize friendship exchanges, and share work experience. Mr. Chen said Vietnam is willing to coordinate with Cuba in organizing seminars on front work. The two sides will receive opinions from the people about the cooperation between Vietnam and Cuba, including ties between the Vietnam Fatherland Front and the Cuban Committee for Defense of Revolution.
Vietnam attaches importance to multilateral cooperation, including with UNESCO, in the challenging post-COVID-19 context. Deputy Foreign Minister Ha Kim Ngọc said at the 216th session of the UNESCO Executive Board that will open on May 15 in Paris, France.
The session, which takes place until May 25th with the participation of 58 member countries, has an agenda of some 50 topics on various fields, such as education, culture, human resources, and foreign relations. Speaking at the opening session, Deputy Minister Ngọc, who is also chairman of the National Commissions for UNESCO, appreciated UNESCO's efforts in mobilizing resources, promoting multidimensional approaches, and providing timely support for member countries in crisis. Regarding the future direction, Ngọc suggested appropriate resource allocations for two global priorities, Africa and gender equality, and small island developing states and youth. On the sidelines of the session, Ngọc had meetings with UNESCO Director General Audrey Azoulay, UNESCO Deputy Director General Sinh Thủy, among others, to promote bilateral relations between Vietnam and UNESCO and partners.
Prime Minister Phạm Minh Chính has just approved the National Power Development Plan (TH), which guides the development of power plants and power grids between 2021 and 2030, with a vision until 2050.
The plan aims to maintain Vietnam's energy security by ensuring a sufficient supply of electricity to fuel the projected annual GDP growth rate of 7% during the period. It also aims to get Vietnam into the top 4 countries in ASEAN in terms of power reliability. The plan strives to increase the share of renewable energy in the country's power mix to between 67.5 and 71.5% by 2050. It also seeks to generate green energy for exports, with a target of between 5 to 10 gigawatts by 2030. The plan needs some $135 billion of funding to develop new power plants and power grids between 2021 and 2030.
In the 2022 Emerging Market Logistics Index report by Transport and Logistics Service Provider, Agility put Vietnam in the 11th place among 50 global emerging logistics markets. According to the report, Vietnam has a lot of advantages to become logistics star in the region.
Logistics is the fastest growing and most stable industry in Vietnam, posting average annual growth of 14 to 16% and with a scale of 40 to 42 billion US dollars a year. Thanks to its political and social stability and favorable geographical location, Vietnam benefits from the ongoing wave of shifting supply chains. Its long coastline also enables the country to establish a seaport network of optimal capacity to ensure economic growth and stable production. The explosion of e-commerce also helps Vietnam improve its competitiveness and become a center for the transshipment of global goods. However, to become a logistics star in Asia, Vietnam still needs to develop its infrastructure connectivity and leverage its advantages, according to analysts.
That is the end of our bulletin today. To rewatch this news, you can download BPTV Go or visit our website and YouTube channel. Thanks for staying with us and see you next time.